Hi everyone. I'm starting some new journals, a gift for a couple of people. So I'm going to make a couple of journals and I wanted them to be in an ocean theme. So I thought I'd just show you the papers that I'm using and the way that I've printed it and the reasons why. That just might help you when you get a digital kit, just to think about how you're going to use it and what you're going to do with the printing. I must confess I had a whole lot of problems with my printer. I've had cartridges leaking and lines coming through, and so I'll show you what I'm going to do with those misprints as well. So this is the Ocean Mega Kit. There's 50 pages and it's beautiful, lovely watercolor washes and corally sort of colors. And I've printed some of the pages on, these are hand dyed. This was digital paper that I hand dyed and it went all bubbly, which I thought would be a real issue, but I love the bubbles for the theme, and it printed beautifully when I ran it through the printer. So that's hand dyed paper. Then I've also hand dyed some other pages, and I hope the camera will pick up the glimmer on this. This was when I made one of the unicorn kits. So I put this paper in the printer and printed a couple of these pages. So they just have that beautiful shimmer on them. I've just left them plain on the back. So that's beautiful shimmery paper. And even though my printer cartridge did leak here, that will be fine because I'll do something to cover that up. And so there's another one printed on that shimmery paper. And it prints beautifully through the printer, not a problem. Then I've cut down some music paper and printed some of the journal pages 2 to a page, and I'll cut this out and turn it into envelopes. So that's music paper. Vellum is another thing. So this is printed onto tracing paper, and my printer doesn't like tracing paper. I'll show you a misprint of what it does if I print with vellum or tracing paper. Let me find. So it doesn't sit flat and it rubs all the ink, smears all the ink off. So I'll keep that misprint and do something with it. So the way that I've gone about that is, if you can see on the edge here, I've just put a really thin line of washi tape and taped the tracing paper to a sheet of A4 and fed it through that way. And then that prints beautifully. So that's tracing paper, and it's lovely to have a page through, because even from the back you get that beautiful, the colour just comes through and it looks lovely, and it's got that lovely crinkle to it. Then I've printed, these are the washi pages, so I've just printed these onto digital paper, so plain white digital paper, single-sided. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with those yet, but I think I'll use that for things like page wraps and envelopes and pockets. And there's another one of the wider washi. Then the journal pages I've printed 2 to a page, so I've decided that these are going to be feature pages in the journal, and these will work beautifully with white gel pens or white pens of some sort. So I've printed a lot of these, and I thought with these ones with the pearls on them that I could use the glossy accents to make that really stand out. So there's lots of journal pages, and as I said, I'm going to make 2 journals. So they're all the double-sided ones, more pearls that I'll probably put the glossy accents on. Then these pages are 160 GSM cardstock. This is the ephemera. So the tags, I've printed the background papers onto the back of them, and they're nice size thickness. And there's all different size tags. Some of them I'll use for hidden paper clips, pockets, things like that. These ones are just really lovely sizes, just to add little decorations here and there, or to make little clusters. Some small journal cards. Again, I've printed the backing papers on the back. There's some more tags in bigger sizes, and these might make really nice tuck spots or the over the page clips. These are the bookmarks, and this one I've reduced the size and printed it on cardstock at 70% and printed the other set of bookmarks on the back. And what I want to do with these is give it a torn edge and add some gold to it, and then laminate those as bookmarks to put into some of the pockets. And these are the full size bookmarks that I thought I can print. I've printed background papers onto the back of both of these, and I thought they would make wonderful side pockets because they're the full height pockets to tuck things in, or to keep them joined together and fold them over to make a double-sided wrap, or even to use 3 and make a fold out. So I've left those at full size. These are some more of the journal cards with the backing printing on the back, just with that lovely watercolor wash. Then this one, here's the full size, and this is going to be a tri-fold. So that will be if I want a full size one, and I've just reduced it down to 80% to print a smaller one, and also printed the background pages on that. These ones I've used 160 GSM, and there'll be journal pages, but I wanted thicker paper so that I could add some of the lovely heavier embellishments that you put into journals. So when you're making, you know, hidden pockets and waterfall things and things that you need a heavier weight for. So I've just done some of the journal pages onto that thicker cardstock, and that just allows me to have them in the center of a signature, and have something that needs a bit of a heavier weight paper on the back of it. Then this has all been printed onto sticker paper, and I really love these. I thought tearing them out, adding a bit of gold onto the edges of them will be really lovely. So this is all just that sticker paper, and it's really quite, once you cut things down, it's quite easy to peel. So you've just got the whole sheet. These little labels, again on that sticker paper. There's more of those labels, lots of fish and ships and shipwrecks and corals. And then these ones in a bluey sort of turquoise colour. Again, the torn edges I think will be really effective just to add decorations throughout the journal. These are all pockets and envelopes and things are printed on 160 GSM. There's a couple of different envelopes, pockets and tags. These are the whale tail tags and a few different shapes that you can use. A coin envelope, a smaller envelope, some different shaped page tags, mini envelopes and larger pockets and smaller pockets, and some more page tabs. So they're all ready to go. So that's the Ocean Mega Kit. And then to complement that, I've got the Mermaid collection. It's a smaller kit with 22 pages. And I've got these beautiful tags where the mermaid's tails come down below. And I like that idea to do layered tags with some vellum and different coloured cards and fabrics behind that. And I've printed this on 160 GSM. And I've put some of the hand-dyed paper on the back. More of these tags, again printed onto that cardstock, and I've printed the background pages onto the back of that one. Same with these. These would be lovely to make little booklets, join two of them together with some fabric and maybe use glossy accents to really enhance the mermaid, make them a 3D effect. Again, just printed some backing paper on them. This paper is a set that I got given, and I'll show you what it is. I don't know if it's still available, but I'm sure there'd be something similar. It's this parchment paper, 110 grams, and it's got this sort of cloudy texture, and it's a nice thickness, and it printed just beautifully. So I've printed This is one that I've printed double-sided. And then these ones are it just gives the image a lovely aged vintage kind of look, and the texture of them is really lovely. So I've printed these ones just on single-sided so that you've got that different colour paper in the journal to write on. And it's hard, like you can't feel the texture, but it's a beautiful texture and a really lovely thickness. Then I've used digital paper to print these ones on. So there's a double-sided one. And then a couple, these ones are single-sided. So I can think about what I want to do with those as I go. These are some of the background pages in the Mermaid collection. And I love these watercolour washes. At the moment they've just printed on 160 gram cardstock. And they can be backing paper, or I can print on the back of those. I haven't worked that out yet. Here's some of the journal cards on cardstock, and I've just printed some of the background papers on the back. And then some more cardstock with the journal pages again, so that I've got the heavier weight to add heavy embellishments into the journal, again with the backing papers on the back of them. And this one again is the same on cardstock with the background papers on them. So they're the two kits, and there'll be plenty of papers for me to work with. So this one's got 50, that one's got 22. And then I thought I'd show you my printing woes. I haven't thrown these out yet. This is the vellum. And I can make little mini envelopes or use sort of parts of this, so I haven't thrown it out yet. This was one of the printing errors, and I just punched some shapes out of things that I could retrieve from it. This one again, I've punched things out. This one, when it fed through, it grabbed two pieces of paper and smeared the ink. So I can use this beautiful colours in the journals, background papers. Then I had all these issues with the printer printing lines, but again, these will make beautiful envelopes, and it's the really lovely hand-dyed paper. So I can use that somewhere in the journal, make envelopes or page tabs or something or other with it. So, and the colours are all beautiful. Again, more of these lines with the printer, and it just kept misbehaving. That one I accidentally printed on a test page, so again I can use that to back things or to make things with. This one, more printing lines, but all of these beautiful colours, you'll be able to use it somewhere in the journal. So I'm not throwing them out, I'm just setting them aside. More printing lines, more printing lines. Then this one jammed, fed two pieces of paper through, and then it just smeared the whole print as it was going through, and the ink was everywhere. This one, again, it took two pieces of paper and printed partially on one. I was going to make that a journal page, but I can do something with that. That'd make, you know, glue that in one-sided or tear it down. I can definitely use it. This one, again, it kept feeding two pages through, so again I can use that. And this one, it smeared, the black ink smeared through from a page on top. But I can use all of those to make things with, so even the printing disasters will be useful. So at the moment with these kits, I'll put the links to them below in case you're interested. There's 25% off until the end of July if you're interested in oceans and mermaids and beaches and all these beautiful colours. And then I'll make some videos of me making some things with them. Thanks everybody, have a great day.